So if you guys didn't know that the Writers Guild was on a strike, then you're probably living under a rock. Reason being is because the entertainment industry in general is in crisis mode, and your shows could be affected, could be delayed because of this situation. So I want to break it down for you on everything that's going on because this crisis has just escalated effective today. So what is the Writers Guild strike? Well, this has been going on since May 2nd. And the reason being of why this is happening is because, for one thing, the pay disagreements and the pay negotiations have not been met according to the Disney or 21st Century Fox or Paramount, all these large corporations that have to deal with the CEO. The pay negotiations, they're just severely underpaid. And also, because of the chat GBT and the AI and the generating all that, the system in itself, the AI, is smart enough to make a script. So which is cheaper for corporations to go and lean on that. So that way they won't have to use an actual human being to do the writing itself. Because for one thing, AI could do it much faster. I don't know if they can necessarily do it better, but it's also cheaper for the big, larger corporations to just deal with that. But the thing is, I believe that AI definitely just lacks emotion and lacks heart, which I think humans are capable of doing. And these are what the writers are. One thing is that they're complaining about pay and just not being resourced enough because they think they and the corporations think they can be replaced. So this full article talks about everything that they deserve and what they talk about and why are they going on strike. And the thing is, they just need the attention that they deserve because they are literally the foundation, the backbone of all the shows, of all the movies that are happening. And so you might be asking, well, what do the writers get? What is it that they're having a problem with also that they're also on strike? Well, like I said, the pay negotiations is pretty big. But for every single movie, for every single show that is released on television, that is released in theaters and things like that, they get a certain amount of residuals. And in residuals, they get a cut, right? Regardless of the situation here. So in terms of what the industry banks on mostly is that when they do the work of the show and the show just keeps re-airing or a movie in this case, they get a certain amount of money back because of the demand of the show, the demand of the people that really want to watch it. And in terms of the percentage cut that they get, not necessarily, to be honest, they overall, I believe they get 1.2% of the total gross receipts of everything that is aired worldwide, out of the 100%, because there's also, whether it's dancers, whether it's stunt performers, whether it's actors, directors, producers, there's so many things that come into play when making a huge production show or a movie or a short or anything, or an animation, anything. All these writers are behind this stuff, okay? So they get a certain amount of revenue, and they believe that they should get more than 1.2% of the negotiation, which, honestly, I mean, I'm for it, to be honest. Since May 2nd, which is 2 months ago, 2.5, we're going to go for now. They have been striking. They haven't been paid. They haven't worked. All they're doing is striking and proving a point that these production companies, they're telling them that they need them. But recently a shocking statement has been released by Bob Iger. And this is what he said. And it's honestly pretty shocking that these large production corporations have no soul when it comes to human beings who are the entertainers of this industry. I just want you guys to take a second. I just want you to hear everything that Bob Iger has said.
Of Disney went on TV and said that what writers and actors are asking for is not realistic because they just don't have enough money to pay us. but he said this at a billionaire retreat where he was hanging out with Mark Zuckerberg and David Zaslav that they all flew to on their private jets. And you know what? I don't think that that's fucking realistic. Here's a dose of reality for you, Bob. Writers cannot afford to pay their mortgages. Actors are not able to make a living in Los Angeles anymore. That is reality to us, not flying around on private jets. And until you accept that reality, we are going to be out here on the picket lines, withholding our labor, depriving you of your product, and you will not make another dollar off of us until you come back to the table and face reality and negotiate with us as you have refused to do. And until you do that, there will be no acting and no writing. So this morning, the CEO...
Which is crazy. The CEO of Disney
went on TV.
Mr. Bob Iger, on TV, it's just like... He said they're not being realistic. And it's really baffling to me that this man is publicly saying this without shame. And it's really, really sad that all these people that are striking are a part of the entertainment industry who literally cannot work or can't make a dime with it. This is literally their livelihood. Literally their livelihood. And so what I also recently didn't know, that also Walt Disney acquired 21st Century Fox. So even Murdoch, or I think, yeah, Murdoch is like the CEO of the 21st Century, and then Bob Iger, of course, the Walt Disney Company. But it's at this point, you know, the Walt Disney Company in itself, I mean, people look up to this guy a lot because it's literally has become a monopoly. That was a tongue twister. Has become a monopoly in terms of the total entertainment industry. Disney pretty much owns everything, which is crazy at this point. So just to give you a breakdown of the industries of what's happening right now, we have the Walt Disney Company, we have Comcast, we have AT&T, whatever. But this is like the majority of the platforms that is currently either streaming or airing on TV. Now, as you all know, that it's not just the pay negotiation that the Writers Guild are having trouble with. It's also the lack of payment they have been getting. So as you know, that whatever it airs on television in itself, they need to reserve a spot. They need to pay for a spot because of the demand and whatnot. But specifically when it comes to streaming, they only get paid for the job, and then once it hits the streaming platform, they don't get that cash. They don't get that money. No matter how many times a person watches a show or watches a movie or watches a documentary or a podcast or anything like that, the people that worked on this production, they don't get the residual money because the streaming platform, whether it's Netflix, Disney Plus, HBO Max, Paramount, any Prime, any of these guys, Apple TV, YouTube, all of these guys, the people who worked on this don't get the residuals, and the company itself who own the streaming platforms take all the money. And that in itself is completely unfair. Completely. And when Bob Iger made this announcement, one other union has finally decided to strike. And it was effective today, actually, midnight this morning, SAG AFTRA. And believe it or not, SAG AFTRA, I'm actually a part of it. If you guys don't know what SAG AFTRA is, it's a actors union where all the top A-list actors are a part of, because the union takes care of the actors when it comes to pay. And they handle the negotiations for the unions as well, so that they are properly taken care of. And every single movie you guys watch on AMC theaters or whatever theaters you guys go, whenever there's a new movie that's out, they are all part of SAG AFTRA. And, you know, I'm flexing. I had the opportunity to be a part of this union, and it's really, really such a blessing, because there's only two ways to do it. Two ways. One, you get tafted, which means that if there's a production that has found you and is really interested in you, and they really want you to be part of this commercial or movie or anything like that, you can get an automatic in. The other way you can be a part of SAG AFTRA is when you have to go to like multiple basically sets, and just, whether it's be a background or whatever, you have to get signed off like about three sign-offs, and then you are finally eligible for SAG AFTRA. And it's really, really such a blessing to be a part of, because being a part of SAG AFTRA is something that, they're for the actors, for the entertainers. You could be an actor, a stunt performer, a dancer, a singer, even you could be background, anything in the entertainment industry. They will take care of you 100%. And I totally believe in SAG AFTRA about it. And of course, that's what it's all about. So even them, the actors who are now going to join the Writers Guild to be on strike, is so empowering. So I just want to let you know that this is like the commercial that I did that got me into SAG AFTRA. It was a CarMax commercial. They basically like paid me to just drive a car, and then like then like air it. It aired on television multiple times, which is such a blessing and such an exciting thing to be a part of. Although it has been pretty dry for me, but for other people, this is their livelihood. And so finally, SAG AFTRA has decided to go on strike with the Writers Guild, because they also feel that they are unappreciated, unseen, and just not being taken care of in regards to this entertainment industry. And if people are looking the other way to not care about what the Writers Guild or SAG AFTRA is all about, believe it or not, everything is a domino effect. So if they're on strike, that means your show is delayed, your show is affected. Or let's say, Netflix or Disney, like they don't have the means to fund to do production for other things. It's a huge domino effect in the entertainment industry. And if this keeps going on, God knows what's going to happen. And the thing is, it's just so disheartening to just even believe that they will just wait till they can't pay rent for them to be forced to come back. And it's kind of sad about it. So the president of SAG AFTRA is none other than Fran Drescher. And if you guys don't know who Fran Drescher is, she was in an old sitcom show called The Nanny, which I grew up watching. Nick at Night, for those of you guys who are like almost 30, Nick at Night, we love that. But yeah, she was in that sitcom. I'm sure she's in plenty other productions as well. But I just want to leave it off at this final note here of Fran Drescher on CBS News. This is literally yesterday, 6:27 p.m. Today is July 14th. This was yesterday, July 13th. She just started going off on all these big corporations, big CEOs, Wall Street, and all this because they feel unseen and unheard. So I just want to play a couple minutes about what Fran Drescher is talking about, because this is actually very sad to hear, and it's very important to understand where they're coming from, because they put their heart and soul into their passion of entertaining, and it's come to this. So let's take a listen, and we'll talk about it after.
I am shocked by the way the people that we have been in business with are treating us. I cannot believe it, quite frankly. How far apart we are on so many things. How they plead poverty, that they're losing money left and right when giving hundreds of millions of dollars to their CEOs.
Exactly.
It is disgusting. Shame on them. They stand on the wrong side of history at this very moment. We stand in solidarity, in unprecedented unity. Our union and our sister unions and the unions around the world are standing by us, as well as other labor unions. Because at some point, the jig is up. You cannot keep being dwindled and marginalized and disrespected and dishonored. The entire business model has been changed by streaming, digital, AI. This is a moment of history that is a moment of truth. If we don't stand tall right now, We are all going to be in trouble. We are all going to be in jeopardy of being replaced by machines and big business, who cares more about Wall Street than you and your family. Most of Americans don't have more than $500 in an emergency. This is a very big deal, and it weighed heavy on us. But at some point, you have to say, no, we're not going to take this anymore. You people are crazy. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Privately, they all say we're the center of the wheel. Everybody else tinkers around our artistry. But actions speak louder than words. And there was nothing there. It was insulting. So we came together in strength and solidarity and unity with the largest strike authorization vote in our union's history.
And so the vote that she was talking about, she did not herself decide to say, hey guys, we're going on strike. They actually sent every single SAG member to vote for a yes in the to go on strike. This was back in June 5th, I think. We had to vote by Monday, June 5th. So and then when they counted all the votes to see how many yeses they got, it's a very organized, and it's a people union, and they care about everyone that voted. If the majority voted no, they probably wouldn't have been a strike. But like she said, this is the most yeses they've ever got. And it's crazy. It's crazy the emotion she's pouring into this speech right now.
And we made the hard decision that we tell you as we stand before you today. This is major. It's really serious. And it's going to impact every single person that is in labor. We are fortunate enough to be in a country right now that happens to be labor friendly. And yet, we were facing opposition that was so labor unfriendly, so tone deaf to what we are saying. You cannot change the business model as much as it has changed and not expect the contract to change too. We're not going to keep doing incremental changes on a contract that no longer honors what is happening right now with this business model that was foisted upon us. What are we doing? Moving around furniture on the Titanic? It's crazy. So the jig is up, AMPTP. We stand tall. You have to wake up and smell the coffee. We are labor, and we stand tall, and we demand respect and to be honored for our contribution. You share the wealth because you cannot exist without us. Thank you.
That probably is one of the most powerful speeches I've heard in a long time, because this is it. This is the industry. And if people are not going to, people as in like the larger corporations, the CEOs are not gonna just get it in their head, there's gonna be a huge impact in the entertainment industry. And in terms of what I think, I support 100%. And for you guys, if you guys don't know what to do or don't know what to think, you should probably do your own research, probably more research than I have done. I mean, I hope I've done enough to convince you that you guys need to support these guys as much as possible, because they, the writers of their past, your childhood growing up watching movies and TV shows, these guys are behind everything. And if these guys aren't supported the most, there will be no entertainment. There will be no Netflix and chill. It will stop. Everything will stop. So that's what I'm going to leave it at. I hope you guys, I don't know what I can do or what we can all do to do physically to support, but it's just the solidarity, put a post on Instagram, share information, about this situation. If there's people that don't know about it, it's very, very important, especially now in this industry. They deserve to be paid. They deserve it. And I personally like know some people who work in this industry, and you know, some people have it harder than others, and but people are just passionate and have so much creativity and so much entertainment to give, and this industry is open for that. But if they're not getting paid for it, and like Adam said, Los Angeles is not really a place for people to work or live in as an actor anymore. You know, people have moved to Atlanta, people have moved to Houston. These are the main hubs because it's a cheaper spot. But in general, they all deserve to be paid what they deserve. That's it. That's it. That's all I have to say about the situation. If you guys want to talk about it more in the comments below, I'm here. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And I hope you guys have an amazing day. And don't forget to support. It's very important. Peace.